Hi guys, so Prime Minister Boris Johnson was challenged on the fact that he wasn't wearing a face covering when he was sitting next to Sir David Attenborough, who is 95 years old. Now this happened when both were listening to speeches delivered by world leaders at COP26 in Glasgow. Boris Johnson lied here and then jumped to the old Tory libertarian view that it's up to the general public to take a decision on their own on how to deal with the pandemic. Let's hear what he had to say.
You want to answer what's going around on social media. You brought up the national treasure, Sir David Attenborough. And there you all were in the plenary. He's 95 years old. He was...
Notice that Boris Johnson looks to his right because he's confused. He doesn't know how to react. He's looking to his aides. How should I react to this?
Old. He was wearing masks and you weren't. It's all over the place.
Right.
You weren't wearing a mask yesterday, sitting next to 95-year-old national treasure David Attenborough.
I've been, wearing a mask when in confined spaces with people that I don't normally meet.
But you don't normally meet Sir David Attenborough. Boris Johnson does not meet Sir David Attenborough on a daily basis, or on a weekly basis, or probably on a monthly or yearly basis. So he should have been wearing a face covering when he was sitting next to a 95-year-old man.
I think it's up to people to take a judgment about whether they're at a reasonable distance from someone and whether they're with someone they don't normally meet. That's the approach we take.
So it's up to people to decide. Shouldn't the leader of the country set an example? And I've talked about this before. I've talked about this during the pandemic, where Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock, when he was the health secretary, and other politicians should wear a face mask to give a good example to the public, to convince the public, yes, you should wear it. Boris Johnson, of course, appeared, and this image has gone all around the world, the Prime Minister falling asleep, sitting next to a 95-year-old man, and him not wearing a face covering. Now, of course, for Boris Johnson, it doesn't make any difference because his supporters will support him no matter what he does. But it just demonstrates how little consideration Boris Johnson has for others. Sir David Attenborough is not called Boris Johnson, so Boris Johnson doesn't care about him. But Boris Johnson doesn't care about his reputation, and he doesn't care about how this negatively affects Britain, because once again, he is the Prime Minister. He's representing the country on the world stage. But he doesn't give a crap. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.